Hello, so today we're going to be talking about nutrition and how it plays a role in our life cycle. So, first, I'm going to start with um, pregnancy, a mother that's pregnant. So, we know that when you're pregnant, you're not only eating for yourself, but you're also eating for your baby. So, it's very important to tell pregnant women that they have to eat more, but not more like bad stuff, because when you're pregnant you're craving everything basically, or specific things. So it's very important to let them know that they need to keep a well balanced diet, um, and cut certain foods out of their diet, such as raw eggs, raw meat, fish, coffee, alcohol, smoking, because that can affect not only her oral cavity, but also her child, and that can lead to many problems in the infant. As we know, when we took dental anatomy, during the first weeks of your pregnancy is when the embryo is developing, and that's when many things that can go wrong. So it's very important for somebody that's pregnant to know all these possible risks that can happen, and it can cause some problems to the infant, such as ADHD, Marosimus, Kawashikork. I can't say that either. But yeah, and it can lead like to cleft palates. It's not healthy for the infant. So we have to educate somebody that's pregnant the possible risk, and also the medications that they can have to consult with their doctors that can also affect them. So now I'm going to talk about infants and kids and adolescents. As we know, an infant can only drink certain, usually just liquids, because their body's like developing, so they can't really digest heavy foods. So we have to be aware of being consistent with their feeding, so we don't give them too much or too little. But as they get a little bit older, you can like experiment, give them a little tries of everything. It's just, but we can't like be too strict, because I feel like we have to like kind of like not push stuff, but like let them try little by little. As an adolescent, you eat anything, I feel like, personally, especially a lot of snacks, a lot of candy, a lot of food like that. So we just have to be aware of the possible carriage risk for that, and instead of like junk food, give them more healthy options like fruits with all these vitamins that can help with their oral cavity, instead of causing a negative effect like sugar, a lot of sugar stuff. Especially if they have bracelets. At this time is when kids usually start getting bracelets, palate expanders, crowns. So yeah, we need to prevent any possible ways. So we have to educate kids on possible risk factors for this, and just give them a knowledge of what like or the oral cavity is, and how to brush properly, because a lot of kids do not know how to brush properly. I did not know how to brush properly until I got into hygiene school, and I honestly learned a lot. And one thing that I learned that I did not know is that you can brush too hard. Personally, I thought if you brush hard you're doing a good job, but now that I'm here, I'm like, now I know why I have recession. So now we're going to talk about the raw nutrition or health. Like I said, it's very important, but like the saying, like there's a saying that you are what you eat. So um nutrition plays a big factor in that. Like I said, if you have an oral extraction, you need a lot of protein to heal that area, but you can also use local factors like salt water rinses to help with that area. um and yeah, just instead of like coffee and things like that, switch to tea, because there are some beneficial things that can um help your oral cavity. And I actually took a what's called CA course about this, and it's very informative, and I'm trying to apply that to myself, because I'm a coffee fan, but I put a lot of sugar. I just have a sweet tooth. But you know, I'm trying to educate my patients and also apply it to myself so I can help them apply it to their habits. And when it comes to elderly people, they have a slower metabolic response or immune response. So it's very crucial for them um, to be aware of the possible diseases that can happen when somebody is older, because they have a higher chance to get something, especially if it's genetics. Like I know personally, my parents, well, my mom has that, she's diabetic, she's obese, and she has high blood pressure. And I feel like that's due to her obesity for once, and that's something that she can control. But I know as a mother of five, it's really hard. Um, so I want to help her in the aspects of cutting down and applying more healthy food into her diet, which she's doing a good job, and I'm so happy. But yeah, I feel like I have to educate her because she did not know a lot of stuff, especially with her medications, about dry mouth, about halitosis. And it's just not something that a lot of countries have implied. A lot of countries do not have a dental hygienist, so they don't know the how nutrition plays a big factor. They know by doctors, oh yeah, like you have to like just eat healthy, but they don't know exactly what's healthy, what's not, what's good portion, what's not a good portion. When you're in a Mexican family, you know there's big ass portions of everything, and usually they tell you like you have to finish everything. But in some cases, big portions are not good. That assimilate calories into your body, which then is stored into fat. And that's something that is also culturalized. So we have to educate people on that. But I also know other cultures have more of a vegetarian aspect. So we just have to really honestly get to know our patients so we can help them in whichever stage they are in their life, and just go through the medical history, their possible risk factors. And if you feel like somebody's not good with their nutrition, you should apply nutritional counseling for them, because it is something that a lot of people overlook. And I know personally, sometimes I overlook that because I like snacking a lot. But taking this class, it has made me realize what I need to improve on. Thank you.